First thing, sticky stuff.
Yeah,
sticky stuff,
ejection.
Right? Yeah.
Against the White Sox.
I was at that game.
Really?
Yeah, I was at that because I had so that was the continuation of the doubleheader or of the Saturday game that got rained out.
Yeah.
And because I had tickets for the Sunday game, we got access to both of them. Mel, hat's right here, by the way. It's hot in the garage, so I'm not wearing it. So we got access to the continuation of the first game from Saturday as well as the Sunday game. So we watched the ejection happen. Very confusing. No one knew what was going on at first. And then all of a sudden, they just, he's out.
Yep. My funny thing is they ejected him.
After he was pulling.
He was out of he was not pitching the next inning. He was coming out. That was my whole thing. I was watching the game with my dad, and I'm like, they literally just ejected a guy who walked 2 batters and had the bases. He just walked the bases loaded. He was out there struggling. They're like, you know what? Now we're going to eject you.
It was funny. Literally, he got pulled from the game, but that's the rule they check, I guess.
Yeah, they check after time a pitcher leaves the playing.
Right,
so if he gets taken
it doesn't
out,
make. I don't know. That kind of is a backwards way to do things, in my opinion.
Yeah, and because they took his mitt for inspection, so if he's found that it is a banned substance, he could be suspended up for 10 games.
He got suspended for 10 games.
Okay, yeah.
He got suspended, but it's right now they just changed because they don't know what the rules are. He's not suspended until the authentication of if it was a illegal substance or not goes.
Okay, so he's in line for 10 games, barring anything changing.
So it's almost like an appeal of suspension, except for the fact that it's not we're deciding if we're going to change the amount of suspension. It's either going to be 10 games or not. But right now, he can still play up until the point they said that was an illegal substance.
Yeah,
so what I've understood, I don't know for sure.
Right, and like Bobby said, this is the MLB's first ejection. So it's kind of we've seen this is a work in progress. It's been pretty painful to watch some of these pitchers get their inspections or whatever.
Yeah, Steven Strasburg got pissed.
Scherzer took his belt off. Sergio Romo pulled his pants down. So pitchers obviously aren't happy. Yeah. I don't think it's a very good system the way they're doing it.
I feel like it's screwed up for the simple fact is I was talking about this with my brother, and I was like, they don't really know what they just started. If this was opening day, they do these rules. I feel like an umpire will know this is sunscreen, sweat, and rosin mixed together. That's what that feels like. This is sap or some kind of sticky tack or something.
Some kind of tack.
But to just feel a glove and be like, this feels weird.
But this is sticky, and
there are some guys that sweat just
profuse. I'm sweating right now.
That's what I'm saying. So you might feel his glove and be like, wow, that's sweatier than it should be. And then you feel Dylan Cease on the other end, and it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like this. But I'm like, it's 2 different guys with
it's
what if one of them's using Banana Boat and the other one's using Up and Up from Target? That's going to be a different consistency of sunscreen.
I swear it works different. No, it's a flawed system for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And they definitely need to work these kinks out.
Yeah, this is something like Nick said. If this starts opening day, maybe there's less issues surrounding it. Pitchers are a little less ticked off. A lot of pitchers have pretty much admitted to using sticky stuff without saying it.
Yeah,
but we've heard what's the Rays pitcher? What's the name? Glasnow. He literally basically admitted to it. Said my goal is to win a Cy Young, yada yada. So if I need to use substances, I need to. Those were his words. He pretty much said it sucks that he can't use sticky stuff.
My whole thing is
Garrett Cole's horrible interview answer. He's things have been passed down. I don't know how to answer the question.
But Garrett Cole's been stinking it up lately.
A lot of guys are being caught with this.
So I think this is definitely you're going to see a huge effect.
Well, my whole thing too about the Mariners guy and I don't why would you even try? It's not I could see maybe in a couple months if they're all right, every 3 innings we're going to check. But literally they check every inning, every time. I'm like, there's no way. He got checked 2 innings before. You're going to tell me after he got checked twice, he went out there, put stuff onto his glove or his arm. And
that's something that doesn't make much sense. So they said it was found in his glove. That doesn't make sense to me. Either you or you. I don't know why, if you have been getting inspected at the end of every inning, you thought you could pull that off.
Yeah.
Which is why that's why I partially think he's got a case.
Well, plus he ran away. He made that joke, he was running away from getting inspected. I'm I don't feel like you're making that joke if you actually have stuff.
Yeah, there's some flaws with it.
And if you're using sticky stuff, you're not getting rocked like that in the inning.
He didn't get rocked, dude. He just walked a bunch of guys.
Yeah, but you would hopefully you'd have more control.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
like, yeah.
exactly. It's true.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I'm in the side that I don't really think he was actually using anything. I
Yeah.
kind of like what you were thinking. Dude probably sweat like a wildebeest into his glove and felt it like, oh, it's a little, sweat on leather can be a little sticky.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying umps are idiots,
Well,
but
did you
sometimes
see-
umps are idiots.
You see Trevor Bauer's, he has a YouTube channel or whatever. Did you see him do, like, he put rosin and sweat on his palm and, like, straight up just went like this to a baseball and picked it up.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh, I did see that.
so I'm like, that has to be sticky. I can't just do that with a baseball and just have it just suction cup.
No, that's the thing. This is I'm not a big fan of how the MLB is conducting all of this.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan that they started it midway
this
through
point.
the season. Yeah.
Right.
Like if you're going to start it at the beginning of the season.
Right.
Or after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Because like during the All-Star break, I feel like what they're going to do is train a bunch of umpires, and then there's going to be a fifth umpire behind the catcher or whatever. And if he sees anything change inning to inning, or after they bring it out, and they're like, this feels sticky, they're going to bring it to that select umpire, and then they're going to be like, yeah, that's
So you're
possibly
thinking
a foreign
somewhere along the lines of how the NFL has like the like in-game spectator who looks for like head injuries, but instead of head injuries, it's like this
'cause
kind of stuff on the
they
mound.
have the authenticator there who, like, if somebody comes in and like if Mitch Haniger would have hit 6 home runs in one game, like that would have been a ball that they would have to authenticate that was the actual ball.
Mhm.
So they're gonna have a guy sitting next to him where he's the umpire where he could be like,
He's the sticky stuff guy.
yeah, he's like the expert
It's a
on
weird-
foreign
it's a weird
substances.
thing
Dude,
To have a guy
what's your
for.
official job title? I'm the sticky stuff inspector. I inspect
I grab mitts and I'm like, yeah, it's sticky.
Yep, that does stick.
Well, I just
Awesome. Awesome.
Get
Get
him
him
out.
out of here.
10 games.
I saw a video. I think it was the Yankees about they zoomed in on the catcher, and on the inside of his mitt, he had what looked like pine tar and stuff like that. So I'm like, if he's getting the stuff on it, putting it on the ball, and then throwing it back to the pitcher, I feel like if that starts getting leaked out, that's going to be a thing.
Oh, that's some big
they're gonna have to check the
Like-
entire catcher attire, like behind
Yeah.
the knee pads, behind the shin guards, all that stuff. I'm like, it's getting too much to the point where I'm like, why are you trying?
Right?
They're going to keep trying. They're definitely going to keep pushing.
They're not going to stop.
Yeah, it's unavoidable. Like,
You can't. They're not going to stop. They've shown they're not going to.
yeah,
It's the MLB. They're really good at doing things in a way that's like almost makes sense, but just doesn't.
Yeah.
They get like, oh, wait a second, they're on to something. And then they find a way to make it completely stupid.
yeah.
Like, yeah, we're all against cheating in this garage. But they somehow found a way to make us go, okay, this is kind of ridiculous the way they're trying to stop cheating.
Yeah, I don't want to watch a guy get inspected every,
I sat there
every couple innings.
At that game, like 15 minutes, this dude's glove was getting inspected.
Yeah, it's why stop? You're stopping the game that you paid for.
people to watch the game. They want to get more people watching it. But they're like, hey, we're gonna have this 15-minute
Yeah.
pause. Like if you're at the game, I feel like it's different because like you have to see him warm up or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like when you're watching on TV and you're sitting there in your living room for 15 minutes, being like, this guy's
You're just
gloves
watching
touched.
Hector Santiago, just a guy, not even like a star,
Yeah.
getting his glove inspected for sticky stuff after he walked the bases loaded.
Hector
It's like,
Santiago
what
was
the-
like, this is my part-time job. Like I gotta get back to
Yeah,
my
he's
other
like,
full-time
like,
job.
bro,
Can you
I
write
gotta
this up?
be at the office at 5.
But you know what's funny? He was on the White Sox.
Yeah, he was on the Sox at one. Yeah.
So you know what? The White Sox knew he was using stickers.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are dumb as could be. What a
They
string.
called him out.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Conspiracy theory right here.
They lost that game, so it didn't work for them.
But
Yeah, the only
tried
game
to
they
win
won.
it by that.
The only game they won this week was when they had the most players injured they've ever had. Because Abreu didn't play in that second game. So I'm like,
Oh, dude, that hit by pitch he took looked bad. In real time, dude. Whew.
I saw it
Hey,
in slow
but,
motion. It made my knee buckle. I'll be honest.
I
I was
was
like,
uncomfortable. There was a moment where I sat there. I was like, "All right, well, looks like we're officially just packing it in." For
And
the
that's the second time he got hit in the knee. Because remember the umpire threw the bat and it hit him right
Oh,
in the knee?
yeah.
Wait,
dude, what does the MLB got against Abreu, man?
I'm just like, yeah, this.
Because I was at that game. I'm like, how did he get injured? Like, I was just like, he was
Yeah, no, they
standing
just
there, and I'm
tossed
like,
the bat.
I did not see the bat get thrown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
Well,
how
we
is he out?
were watching again. That was when we were on vacation. We thought the guy who slid into home got injured. We're like, okay, that makes sense. All of a sudden, it's like Abreu. It's
And
like,
then they showed
it's like, wait, he
they
wasn't
showed it
even
in slow
in the
motion,
game.
and the bat just hits him in the knee. It's like, bro, what? But whatever. I think we kind of all agree this sticky stuff thing. It's a little
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
Hopefully they'll figure it out.
It's stupid, but the rule is not
The,
stupid.
the rule isn't stupid.
Yeah.
Like I said, the way they're going about it is dumb.
Yes.
So basically, we all agreed. Hey, we want cheating to stop, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So whatever. That is what it is.